Okay, everybody, Packmaster here, and we seem to be getting another new unit. So it seems like we're getting pretty much new units back to frickin' back. Like we got the resummon from the Europe event, and now we're getting the new Uprising unit, which is up there, and we've already gotten the new Badlands unit. So we got Divine Rogue Hetepheres, and it seems like this is going to be another one, obviously another one of the Uprising units like Rahotep and Nefrit, where it's kind of based like an Egyptian kind of style. And I didn't read through this a whole lot, so I'm going to go through with this right now. And it seems like regarding the whole YouTube thing, it seems like I'm probably going to be one of the first to hit on this topic of this new unit. So, what is it? She's an Earth unit. She's Omni and 50 cost, which most units seem to have that 50 to 54 cost. And she has pretty good stats. Kind of a modest set of imp boosts as well, because usually you don't see that much stats like these low, like 500, 400, and 1,250. You don't really see those ones too much, but you usually see like the 800 ones for more of the high-end Omni units, like not really high-end units, but more like the attack-heavy units, like Mifune and Zeku, I believe. So she has a 10 hit normal attack with 50 BC generated, 5 per hit, which is actually pretty crazy because she can fill up her BB and part of her SBB by just doing one single attack, which is freaking nuts. And her leader skill is What's Yours Is Mine, 100% boost to attack, defense, and 50% boost to max HP of Earth units. 140% boost to spark damage. Spark damage restores HP and negates all status ailments. Now this is pretty good for a more spark-heavy team, spark-heavy mono Earth team, of course, because you get that 65% boost to max HP, which is pretty high. I think it's one of the highest in the game, I think, without modifying it. I think that's pretty fucking good. And the spark damage restores HP is pretty good because it's kind of good because you have a bunch of Earth sparkers and you can get a whole bunch of HP back, which is pretty easy. Now her Brave Burst is Once Killing Wink, 28 BC required, generated 14. 14 combo powerful Earth attack on all foes, 420 multiplier. Enormously boosts spark damage, 150 for 3 turns. Considerably boosts attack, defense, and recovery of Earth units for 3 turns. Spark damage considerably restores HP. Pretty much a weaker version of her. This last thing here is pretty much a weaker version of her leader skill, but combining the two is pretty good too. What is this? Super Brave Burst. Twice Dead Ricochet. BC required, 30. Max BC generated, 18. 1 per hit, 18. Combo powerful Earth attack, 200 to 900 multiplier. Damage relative to remaining HP. So that's pretty good. Because, the multiplier is pretty moderate for now. Considering that she is, we might see some enhancements later on. But it's not that bad. Also with the damage relative to remaining HP, we're starting to see a lot of this now. I don't know why, but we're just seeing it. Enormously boosts spark damage, 150% for 3 turns. Hugely boosts attack, defense, and recovery for 3 turns. Hugely boosts attack relative to defense. That's really good. For 3 turns. Activates Earth Barrier. That's also pretty good because we're seeing a lot of barrier units now. We got Lancelot, I think, who has a barrier. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, we have Lancelot who has a barrier, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna have to check. And her UBB is Thrice Dead Guillotine, which the max BC generated is 22, required is 32. Again, just pretty much one tap from the normal attack is pretty much all you need to fill up SBB and part of the you beat regular Brave Burst and part of the SBB, and then one tap can get you this full, which is pretty fucking crazy. So it's 22 combo 1500 to 2800, relative to remaining HP, of course, which is pretty fucking powerful. I mean, we're starting to see a lot of these multipliers, 1500 to 2800. Again, it's kind of all on the team, what you use for the unit. Enormously boosts spark damage for 3 turns. Enormously boosts attack, defense, recovery by 350% for 3 turns. Enormous damage reduction, 100% for 2 turns, which is pretty good. It's kind of like that. It's kind of Fang. It's kind of like Fang, where she has the mitigation, the really powerful mitigation, which pretty much only means you'll be taking 1 damage and a 30,000 HP Earth Barrier. And also we get, and what's mine is mine for the extra skill, 20% boost to all parameters of Earth types, and 50% boost to spark damage. Overall, I think the skill set is pretty good. Attack relative to defense is pretty good. Obviously, again, it's kind of all mono teams now. That's kind of what GIMU's starting to push on. Especially seeing now that we're getting a bunch more mono team helping things like Omni Plus, where if you don't have like 3 of the same level and same Omni Plus and same Omni element, you're not going to get that extra effect, which is kind of weird. But as it's kind of inevitable, because now when they released Guild Raid, it was pretty easy on Guild Raid Season 1, then they just completely fucked it up. So our SP options. 20% boost, 20 points for a 50% boost to max HP. 10 points for attack and defense when HP is over 50. 20 is a 100% boost to spark damage. 20 is a boost critical damage by 75%. 10 obviously is that raise attack parameter limits. Number 10 is adds probable spark vulnerability to BB and SBB, and pretty much the same, but it's spark critical for 3 turns. I mean, again, these are kind of hit or miss with, what setup you use. If you have these buffs on another unit or not, it's all dependent on your units. And I think Daze has something similar to these, but I think a lot of other Earth units and just other units in general pretty much outclass Daze. So for another 20, you got enhances BB's attack, defense, and recovery boost by 20, which is not really that good, again, unless you're running mono Earth. Adds huge boost to defense relative to attack for 3 turns to SBB. That's pretty good, because you're pairing the attack relative to defense, then the defense relative to attack, which is really freaking cool. And I think this one's actually pretty good to pick. So if anything, the ones I would pick would be attack and defense when HP is over 50, both damage multipliers, attack parameter limits, because that's 20, 40, 60, 90. And if anything, I think I would rather pick spark vulnerability instead of spark critical, because spark critical, maybe spark critical, because it's easier to get. Yes, I think spark crit and then defense relative, then this thing, then that stuff, spark damage, critical damage, raises attack parameter. And it doesn't seem like she's a very bad unit. Like, you could experiment around with, what other setups you have. Like you could mix and match certain things. You could get multiple units. More lore. Not going to read all that. And it seems, I'm not entirely sure what that god is, because I remember Hetep had like Anubis or something. And then Nefret had someone else. I just can't remember it at the moment. I mean, obviously, again, we have Frontier Hunter and Sheeta and Omni evolutions. And I'm going to get to those Omni evolutions for Sheeta and Lilith whenever I get the units again, like whenever the weekend hits. and whatever half energy is, because I pretty much have everything I need for these units. It's just a matter of do I have the other units. Now, obviously, I think the one I should evolve first should be Sheeta, because I don't really have anything for Lilith, and yeah, I'm almost there to leveling up, so that'd be pretty easy for me. And I have another Solos. I don't know why. Like, I have this Solos, then I have an Oracle. Again, 2 summons back to back, double Solos. I might evolve both of them and do Omni Plus with Solos, like, you know, fusing the Oracle to the Lord, because that would just make my job a hell of a lot easier, because Solos is pretty freaking powerful. As seen in multiple Ushi videos that I've watched. Also got Mare because I was just grinding for items. Still trying to do Karna Master. Yeah. I mean, a lot of old players are just kind of like laughing right now, but I only got back in like October of 2016, and then I started kind of logging in daily since, pretty much, whenever maintenance wasn't extended. So, I mean, this is kind of the team I'm using. I'm still working on a Savia I have right now, so I can get the Omni Savia, so I don't have to worry about constantly using Camilla, and so I can just, you know, have a more powerful unit. But, you know, with that being said, that's just the basic overview of the of that unit. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, again, it's all in place of what your team is. Now, that's just some... Pretty much my 3 helper squads are pretty much like my garbage teams that I just randomly mix and match units with. Now, obviously, I have mono teams here for mono Frontier Hunters and such. This is my mono Earth one. So pretty much all I think I would have to do would be replace either Fan Fang or Fellis for this other unit, and switch the lead, because that would actually make everything a whole lot easier to deal with. Now again, for this team, I can actually switch it between Hisui and Rosalia. It doesn't really matter which one I pick. Also, we got Mono Thunder and the Frontier Hunter garbage team I use. I kind of switch it up a little bit from, you know, Avant to the other Arthur to pretty much any other unit I can get. Now also, when the next and future Frontier Hunters come, I'm going to start using Omni Lilith and Omni Sheeta, because they're both really powerful units. Now obviously, might have to check myself, make sure I'm fine for Frontier Hunter. If the orbs are back, some of them, yeah, pretty good. So it doesn't really matter to me how far I get on Frontier Hunter, because we just go to survey rewards whenever it loads properly. But I mean, you know, since I'm kind of like jumping between +9 and +8, so pretty much it'll be 10 or 11, because I already got my +1 ranks from everything else. So it's not that bad. We also got the Frontier Hunter rank 80, which I might start pushing for, because we get a whole bunch of cool stuff. We get Ravening Armor, Arcane Defenses, Harmony Vestments, which pretty much means I'm going to need to get more gems to expand my item slots. And, you know, it's going to be freaking crazy, because it's going to be like 1,000 freaking gems for like 2 item slots. So, I mean, there's not really much else to say. You know, we got a whole bunch of new updates. We'll be getting more in the future. We'll definitely be seeing more regarding... What is it? We're seeing more regarding summoner stuff. You know, I'm obviously working on summoner stuff now. I finally got to beating the... What is his name? The big wolf guy. So, who's the guy who helped me? What's his name? Yes, Sora Kit, whoever you are and wherever you are, you're freaking cool. You helped me out. Beat the big wolf dude. Yeah, pretty much he soloed it. So I was like, oh, cool, you know, because I was like getting my ass handed to me repeatedly by this wolf guy. And I'm like, okay. So I just like waited. Then this guy came along. And I'm like, oh, cool. So there's that. and I might actually farm for more SP for whenever the next half event will pop up. So that being said, guys, Packmaster here. That's pretty much all. We got the new unit. Oh, we will be getting the new unit. So that being said, I'm going to continue to farm for SP. And, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. So, see you on the next one.